Record is righto. Righto, let's get into it then. So pretty much what we're going to be talking about is, like I just said, social media, the skill of going viral on social media, how people use that to actually make money, and how you guys can learn and hopefully make money from it as well. So to start with, obviously, who am I? I'm Ethan. If you don't know, you probably most of you guys are probably following me because you just come from my story or my live or something like that. But over the last 10 months, I've been able to obviously grow my personal brand to 200,000 over 200,000 followers and a couple other pages. So I've got a bit of experience with this. I know the skill. This isn't like lots of people seem to think social media is this thing that's lucky. Obvious, and like that's how you actually go viral. Sometimes it is luck, but there is also a skill with it that sort of works in it with it together that actually makes things go really, really well. So we're going to be going through all of that today. Pretty much like growing a social media, why is it important? Because when we say marketing is such a broad term. There's so many different types of marketing, but just the skill of being able to grow a social media is super fucking important. It's you can make so much money off this because if you just have that one skill by itself, you can market a product, you can market yourself, you can market a business, you can market someone else's product. Attention is pretty much currency. So where everyone obviously spends majority of their time is on social media. It's not on um, all these other paid ad places anymore. So if you can make a page grow organically, you're pretty much like you just become a money printing machine. You just put traffic towards whatever you really want. So that's why this is an important skill for a lot of you guys. It's I would consider like it's a high income skill. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about high income skills and how that they're the best thing ever. They are. So like this is like a high income skill, a skill that you doesn't take too long to learn, but you can make a fucking ridiculous amount of money from it. So getting into it, like first thing when you guys are thinking about marketing, there's two things we need to think about, really. One is are you going to be marketing a physical product or a digital product? So I'm going to talk about digital products most of this because that's what I deal with. And that's what I specialize in. So there's no point me talking about physical products because I haven't had that much success with them. And I think digital is where you should all be putting all your focus into anyway. So pretty much with like digital products, if you don't know what a digital product is, there's like two types, right? There's two types. There's high ticket and low ticket. So I'm sure you heard of high ticket sales and like fucking whatever shit like that. Low ticket and high ticket, right? All that means is expensive, really, and not expensive. So low ticket would be something that's like $20 to $1,000. So your things like ebooks, your video guides, templates, planners. So like for an example, if you're let's say a fitness guy, you're like really big into fitness, making like an ebook for your workout plan, that would be considered like a low ticket product because it's it's got value in it, and obviously it's going to help people, but it's not like over $1,000 worth of value really in some sort of ebook or guide or like that. High ticket though, so high ticket, this is something from 1,000 to all the way up to like $100,000. And I know people hear that and they go, "What the fuck is worth $100,000 as a digital product?" Pretty much, this is like mentorships, coaches, done for you services. So most people should know what like a mentorship or coach is. They're very common with like B2B offers, which means business to business. So just say, "Oh, I've already got a business that's running something." And then there's like mentorships that are well over, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 for, a B2B because you know, a good mentorship should bring a lot of value and it should help them make that investment back like times 10. So most people should understand what a mentorship or a coach is. But the one thing a lot of people sort of get stuck on is like a done for you service, and they don't quite think of a done for you service as a digital product. So that's pretty like we're going to talk a fair bit about done for you services because it's going to be one of the easiest ways for most of you guys that don't have like a massive skill set or something like that, or a massive, I guess, knowledge in business and all that sort of stuff. This is where you can build in a done for you service. Um, without having to obviously, you can still obviously sell other people's digital products, but a done for you service is something that you can own yourself. So, what a done for you service pretty much means is like if you think of any business ever, right? There's all these different steps from going from, a customer all the way to something paid, like whether that's advertising, whether that's the editing and the advertising, the script writing, the advertising, the redistribution, the sales team, the setting team, like all this different stuff, right? There's all these different steps between a sale. Pretty much like business owners normally get so busy with their own like making sure that the fulfillment's so good or making sure that people are actually getting what they're paying for, right? They lose time and they don't have time to do all those things. So a done for you service is something where you can come in and help a business owner and just look after that part for him, right? So for an example, it'd be like a marketing team or a sales team or copywriting or automations, like some sort of agency pretty much. So it's like a done for you service. An example for that would be like, so we've got a marketing agency here. So just say there's someone that's has this awesome product. It's really good, but they're shit house at social media. They're dog shit at social media. But then what you can do is come in, learn that one skill of getting good at marketing, and then pretty much like take over. Like you can most I guess smaller agencies would be like on a 2K month sort of base and then sort of plus commissions. So like just say you pay me 2K a month and I come in, I look after your marketing. All the extra people I bring in, all the extra stuff I bring in, I'll take 5% or 20% of that. So then you're working on also commissions as well. So showing that you're actually worth the 2K also. Pretty much like to get to 10K a month is like super fucking simple. You need five clients paying you 2K a month, which is like in the scheme of the fucking internet, you should be able to find five people to market for very easily, right? It's not very many people. If you cold outreach for like, I don't know, 3 weeks straight, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't have like five clients ready to pay you 2K a month to look after their marketing for them. Plus commissions. That's your 10K base plus commissions. So that's just sort of showing you like how easy it is to get to, I guess 10K a month with just like a simple 2K a month client. Obviously, though, we need to learn the skill of marketing if you want to do something like that. But you can do this exact same thing with editing. You can do the exact same thing with some sort of skill that you guys have, and then just plugging it in to someone's business where they need help in that, I guess, part. So that's what a done for you service really is. For like an idea, so like we're going to go through like how to actually obviously blow up on social media in a little bit later. But like for an idea, just say, after this masterclass, you start making videos, all that sort of stuff. You could go to most business, like most construction companies wouldn't even fucking exist on Instagram or anything like that. So you probably go to the most of the companies that you guys work for now and say, hey, look, I'll take over your Instagram. I'll do it for free, maybe for a bit till we get some results. And then you start paying me 2K a month. So it's super easy to get clients, and pretty much the marketing agency here um, is like the main thing I was just showing you, but you can plug it into anywhere. How to grow a following. So we're pretty much going to get into like how to actually obviously marketing stuff now. So everything I'm going to talk about, obviously I'm aiming it towards the like done for you services, but it's like for everything. It doesn't matter if you're doing a physical product. It doesn't matter if you're doing like anything, even just a personal brand just by itself. It all works the exact same. So don't think like, oh, like your niche or your avatar is going to be different. This is like a broad thing that works for everything. So pretty much like the first thing you need is obviously physical product or digital product. So we're going to pick the digital product, hopefully. And then the next thing would be your avatar or your niche. So niche means like this is where people get avatar and niche mixed up. So niche is pretty much like I'm in the fitness niche or I'm in the um Airbnb niche or the wealth niche or something like that, right? That's your niche. But your avatar is who you're selling to in that niche. So just say, if I'm a fitness guy, I'm in the fitness niche, but just saying fitness by itself is too broad. Imagine how many fucking fitness people there are out there. It's fucking retardedly ridiculous, right? So what we need is an avatar to separate you from everyone else. So just say, I'm a fitness person and I do weight loss for, or I do fitness for pregnant people or something like that. I'm now targeting pregnant people in my content. That's what I'm trying to target. So if you think of someone like me, my personal brand, my avatar is pretty much me, obviously in FIFO, or like me before I started all this sort of stuff. So my avatar would be like a tradie. So the avatar is super important because if you don't have an avatar, it's just a niche, you're sort of working in a red ocean, really. And that sort of means like there's a lot of people fishing in that ocean as well. There's blood everywhere, right? But if we sort of niche, get an avatar and niche down, we now create a blue ocean out of the red ocean because there's not like just say fitness in general is massive, but if we pinpoint down to like pregnant people, there's not many people advertising to those guys, so they're going to feel more attracted to you because they're going to relate to you a lot more. So that's pretty much like the next thing we need to figure out. So you figure out your product, then your avatar and your niche. The more you know about your avatar, the better. It should be like one person. Like when I think of like who I'm making content for like ads or products or something like that, I'm not making it to service like a couple different people. It's just this one fucking person. I have this exact person that I'm like trying to target, and that's all I sort of market to. One thing I did want to just debunk real quick is like I'm sure you've seen like a lot of videos where it's like I've got the newest algorithm hack or some bullshit like that, right? You know, like some like change your settings or some bullshit like that, or this special hook that changes the world on Instagram or something like that. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's not real. It's just fucking, it doesn't exist. All Instagram cares about ever is watch time, engagement, so like shares, comments, and that's it. That's it. Maybe it used to care about saves, but I don't think it's as powerful anymore. It's more about shares and comments. So that's literally all they care about. So when you're making a video, what are you trying to do? You're trying to make someone stay all the way through, comment, or share it to someone. So when you think about my content just by itself, I always say comment, whatever, or, just to get, people commenting, or when I try and make it engaging enough so that you stay all the way to the end, or I make some skits or something that's so it's aimed to be sent. So it's like a tradie skit or something like that. I make that so that other tradies will send it to other tradies, like calling electricians fucking poofters or something like that. Like it's so we can send it to a fucking electrician and go, haha, you know? That's what those videos are made for. So that's what actually makes videos go viral. Is there's no fucking algorithm hack bullshit. So pretty much, yeah, all you're thinking is how can I get someone all the way through this video and then take action? So either doing one of these two things. How to grow a following. So I just talked about this. The first thing you need is avatar your niche. Perfect customer. These are just some things that like you should write down about your avatar just to have and know. So you should be knowing at minimum, your avatar's fears, their goals, what they watch, what they engage with, like, and then pretty much everything else outside of that. But the fears and the goals are the most important. And then what they watch and what they engage with is more like the type of content you're actually going to be making. So the fears and goals are what we're going to put in the content. And then this here is like what type of or what style of content we're actually going to be making. The next thing I wanted to talk about, because this is like, sorry, I'll just recap that because that was probably a lot of information. So pretty much you need to find your niche, you need to find your avatar, you need to know everything about your avatar. These are the only things that matters. This sentence, when you're making videos, this is the only sentence you need to think about. How can I make someone stay all the way through and get them to take action? That's all I think about. And then after that, the next thing I wanted to talk about was metrics. So when I talk to a lot of guys in the DMs about how their pages are going and all this sort of stuff, they're like freaking out. They're like, I'm getting all these views, but I'm not getting followers, and or like I'm getting all this engagement, but I'm not getting followers. The way the cycle, like the reason people follow, they don't quite understand why things go viral. So we've got some metrics here that people always look at. They always go, "Oh, I've got this many comments, I've got this many views, I've got this many likes, I've got this many shares," right? We're going to be looking at some videos of my own. So here we've got a video here that got 12 mil, it got this many comments, that many likes, right? This video here with 12 million fucking views, all these comments, I don't even know how many shares, got me like 50 followers. That's it. 12 mil, right? So people seem to go, whoa, fuck, like the massive viewed video, like why aren't I getting followers from it? Freaking out, right? This next video here, 40K, 200 comments, 500 and something likes, right? This video here got me nearly 10,000 followers with way less of everything, way less of all these metrics, right? So we've got a massive video with only like fucking 50 followers. We've now got a way smaller video with way more followers. We look at this video here, another video, 4 mil, right? Massive video, heaps of engagement. This video is the exact same as this one. Only got me like, I would like to say probably under 100 followers. I can't remember the exact number, but it's not very much. Under 100 followers, right? But this video here, it's got the same thumbnail as this one, but obviously still pretty good views, right? And pretty good comments and stuff, but nowhere near as much as 4 mil. This one got me, I think, 15K followers. So when we think about like all these metrics, because like I said, people come to me, they're freaking out about I've got all these likes, comments, shares, they're chasing cloud or whatever, but they're not building followers. None of these metrics matter, not one. In terms of followers and building a following that actually give a fuck about you or actually give a fuck about your product, none of these metrics actually matter. So what actually does matter? Like what actually makes people follow? Because obviously I've got a couple. Pretty much all people follow for, right, is value, relating, and connection. So when I say value, it's obviously giving the audience some sort of value so they feel like they're getting something out of it. So if you think about me, um, I give a lot of shit away for free. Like I'm doing a masterclass right now. I do videos nearly every day teaching people how to do PLR stuff. Relating is probably the next thing. The biggest thing with relating, people tend to relate to, I guess, something that everyone sort of fucks with, but then not what the avatar fucks with. So what I mean by this is like, just say I say 12-hour days and fucking waking up at 4 a.m. to go to work, right? And I'm aiming it at nurses. Tradies will not relate with that because I'm aiming it at fucking nurses. But if I say the exact same fucking thing, 12-hour days, waking up at 4 a.m., but I'm now aiming at tradies, showing tradie shit, nurses aren't going to relate with it, but tradies are going to relate with it. So it's relating, right? But relating to your avatar. And then obviously connection. So connection is more, um, I guess, bottom funnel type content where you're just sort of talking more about your avatar's pains, problems, how your product or how something can fix that. So just say if we're a builder and we've got a building company and we're trying to grow a building company's Instagram, we're going to be talking about how it sucks when you've got all this shit going on and then the builder's fucking late on the job and you need to move in the house. Like a problem that someone that is building a house would have with other builders. So we talk about those pain points and then how obviously this builder can now fix that problem or this whatever product or whatever thing is there, how it's the solution to that pain point that that person has. So that's sort of connection. Call them out as an avatar. I think I just said bottom funnel before, and haven't even explained bottom funnel yet. So what we have here is like a content funnel. So this is pretty much like different types of content. So when I was showing you these videos up here, these videos with massive views, right? We would call them, these like tradie skits, they would be like top funnel. Now, what top funnel is pretty much something that is you're trying to throw like a wide net. You not quite like dialed so in on the avatar, but we're throwing out like a slightly wider net. So just say my avatar is FIFO electricians, but in my skits I throw out a wide net to pretty much every tradie ever, right? Or even sometimes tradies partners for tradies partners to then send it to a tradie, right? So we're throwing out a wider net. The reason we're doing this is to get like this bulk engagement that happens. So I get bulk engagement, everything's sick. They don't follow because obviously it's not something that's valuable or it's sort of relatable, I guess, to the avatar, but it's it's just entertainment. It's not really I'm gonna follow this guy till I die. Then once they do engage with it or something like that, then it has a chance for my other content to then pop up. So once you like on my shit or anything like that, or you engage with it, more of my content's going to start popping up. So if we're throwing out a wide net here, every couple of days we're throwing a wide net out with our content, a bunch of people will engage, and then other stuff will start popping it up. So it's sort of bringing them into, I guess, the ecosystem. I'm sure if you guys have ever been on fucking TikTok or something like that, and then you like one Andrew Tate video, and then your whole fucking feed is just Andrew Tate going off his guts, right? That's what happens with this exact stuff. So that's why we're doing a top funnel piece. The next one is middle funnel. So middle funnel is pretty much where we're going to be doing a lot more relating, storytelling. We're going to be showing, I guess, we're going to be talking, sort of just slightly dialing it in. We're not trying to just catch every tradie. We're slowly trying to dial it in. And we're not trying to catch every pregnant person that wants to get fit. We're not trying to catch every home buyer or whatever. We're slowly dialing it into the right person, talking about those pain points, those fears. And then bottom funnel is where we're actually delivering, obviously, how my avatar, as if you're a pregnant person and you're having trouble getting fit, this my product fixes that problem and you'll get this result. So this is bottom funnel. This is where they're actually delivering the product to them. So we're slowly working their way down to bottom funnel, which is obviously also hopefully a follow. Hopefully that makes sense. I think I just covered a lot. We'll just stop here. If anyone has any questions before we move on and keep going, the way you can ask questions is there's like a where the fuck is it? There's like you can put your hand up somehow. There's like a reactions, and then you can raise your hand. There we go. What's your question, brother?
Hello, how do you find your niche?
How do you find your niche?
Yeah, I'm in a corporate job
Yep,
in the UK. I'd like to do stuff online, but I'm also moving to America by January, and I
yep.
just don't know what I would post about. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, for sure, for sure. So your niche is pretty much like it's to do with your product. So if I want to make a fitness guide, my niche is fitness, right? It's like it's a niche is like a simple thing. All you have to do, the niche probably isn't a hard part to find. It should be probably the easiest because it's really about what your product is. Like it's that simple. Like if I'm selling a cookbook that's PLR, my niche is food. It's just like it's not something you get to choose. You can't make a fitness guide and then say your niche is um, becoming rich or something like that. So niche is an easy thing. The avatar is probably the hardest. So hopefully that answers your question. So it's all you got to find a product. It's hard to pick a niche without a product because Gracie. Hopefully I said that
Oh,
right.
hey, how are you? Hey,
Did I say that right?
hey, Ethan. Yeah, you're right, you're right. I was in your live and I popped up, so I just clicked in here and I'm finding it very interesting. I'm learning a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Um, I just had a question for you. At what point did you realize you were comfortable with quitting your FIFO job to then go like full ahead with this?
Yeah. I wouldn't say I was comfortable. Um,
Definitely not.
because it's obviously it was a brand new thing for me, so I was definitely scared. I was definitely like, this is a bit of a leap of faith, but then also I knew that like if I go try it, like I'd already been doing it for a month, I'd been making money, it'd been all good. Then I finally left, right? And it's like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like I just run out of money and go back to work. And then I'm just back in work. So like it was, I guess, I didn't feel comfortable, but that was my worst case scenario. So I didn't really think about it too much. Maybe I'm just retarded. I didn't think about it too much. So yeah,
At least we all got something in common then.
yeah, that's right.
There you go. All right, cheers for that, mate.
No worries. No worries. Well, anyway, obviously not too many questions about this stuff, so we'll keep moving forward. Oh no, Dan the man.
Hey Ethan, can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate.
I was just thinking, I mean, I've attended a bunch of your masterclasses before. In this top, medium, and bottom funnel, I'm a musician. I quit my job, corporate job, which I knew within 6 months that I'm not meant for corporate. But I worked for like almost 2.5 years. Uh, then I quit that because I felt, yeah, this is the time. It's now or never. You got to make the jump when you don't have too many responsibilities. Um, I was just thinking this top of funnel and mid funnel, right? Like, as a musician, do you think you would have any idea of
Yeah.
what can be an example of top and medium funnel? Like bottom funnel, I know.
Yeah, 100%. So like just off the top of my dome. So like the whole idea of this, right? So the whole idea of top funnel right now is we're trying to throw a wide net. So we just say to, I guess, your so I assume your target audience would be the people that listen to your music. So what type of we'd have to obviously figure out what type of person listens to your music. Is it like fucking heavy metal thrash and stuff, or is it like sit in the garden, have a picnic type stuff? Find out like that type of person. Then we're making top funnel content for that. So just say if it is like fucking like heavy metal or whatever, maybe do like a skit about fucking Monster Energy and punching a hole in the wall or something like that, you know?
Just for context, it's hip hop,
Hip hop, right. So
right?
well,
Yeah.
just find the exact person. It's clearer once you have your avatar. This all seems very broad when you don't, once you do the steps like I sort of explained it, and you actually write down and figure it all out, it seems really broad. But once you do that, it gets clearer and clearer because right now you probably don't know the exact person that listens to your music.
Mm,
So it's
yeah.
like who are we making content for? But the whole idea of top funnel is we're just trying to get them to engage somehow so that our other content can come in. So like I've got a new song or I've got a new album. And same with middle funnel. It'd probably be a little bit different. Middle funnel might just be more like your story about how you what you do and why you make music and what's this song about and all that sort of shit.
So just a small follow up on that. For the top of funnel, like in case, like because I make like a little versatile in my music, like I'm making, melodic hip hop, and also sometimes it's like energetic and pumped up, like something you could use for a workout or partying or whatever it is. So when there is that versatility in the music that I'm making, does the top of funnel change for every subgenre?
I guess so. If you're making like you're saying you're making music for different people.
Uh, Probably the same person in different environments or
Different.
different phases.
So
Yeah,
we I guess we can change the top funnel, but we're not changing it too much. Like I reckon I reckon once you have a clear idea of who your avatar is, it will be so much easier. It's hard because right now we're like who what are we trying to make videos for? We don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. So I reckon
Thanks, man.
figure that out and then it'll be a clearer thing for you.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Awesome, awesome.
Thanks.
Ray of Sunshine.
Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, Ethan. So I reckon I'm gonna start a bit of a, like a gaming YouTube channel, right? So what would your thoughts be on that?
I think your mic is mega fucked, eh?
Hey, it's fucked.
Yeah. Too easy.
Yo, is it working now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So I'm thinking of like with your like wide nets and stuff. For instance, if you were doing, I don't know, like a podcast or like a gaming YouTube channel, how would you like catch just a little bit of interest with those topics?
Like starting a brand new podcast or starting a brand new gaming.
Yeah.
Um, with podcasts, like long form like that, so because that's a long form game, right? So
Yeah.
that's like YouTube or like Shopify, Spotify, whatever. The whole long form game is about clipping. So you know what clipping is?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you just get a clip, edit it.
yeah. So and then we're chucking it on fucking on TikTok and stuff. When the big streamers, I'm sure you've all seen the streamers like Nat, Aiden, like all those big guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They obviously get a lot of views on their streams, but majority of their views don't come from the streams. Most of their money
Clips.
comes from clipping. So that's what you'd be doing is the exact same with your podcast and stuff like that.
All right. Too easy, eh?
Too easy. That's simple.
Yeah. Cheers, bro.
No worries. Righto, we'll keep going on. Stories. So we just talked about obviously content funnel, different types of content while we post that content because we don't want to just be posting random bullshit. The next thing is stories. So we want to be doing the exact same thing we do in our reels on our stories as well. So obviously giving value, relating, connection. Pretty much all the big guys that have massive engagement, like I wouldn't say I have massive engagement, but I definitely have a decent amount of engagement. They all do this like every day, day in and out. So if just say for something that just say we're trying to, you've got an agency right now for, and you're helping a building company scale their Instagram to get them more clients. You get them to put on their stories how like little tips about them building the deck while they're out there on site. You get them to talk about a problem that someone had, a client or something like that, but how he fixed it. You get them to show, I guess, the team and show, you know, who's actually going to be on the construction team and their personalities for the connection part as well. So then that way, if I'm following this construction place because I like their work, they've been doing good stuff. Maybe I'm a little bit of a chippy as well, and but I obviously don't have time to build my own house. I'm watching these guys, I'm loving it. There's good content. There's something for me to keep going on and follow and watch along and enjoy it and still get value. So stories are super important because I'm pretty sure I don't know the actual stat, depends from account to account, but I know mine is like only 20% of my followers, like, no, only 20% of my views come from my followers. So, Reels page and Reels are for non-followers. That's how you have to think about it. They're like only 20% of my views comes from my followers. The rest are like people that don't even follow me. There's people on the Reels page. So, stories is something where you're going to be nurturing your actual followers that you've already got because it's always going to come up because it's at the top of your fucking Instagram. So that's what to do with stories. Now, construction page. So, like I was just saying, like how, like obviously everything I just talked about, then how to grow a page, things to look out for. What are you actually like trying to do with this fucking all these videos, right? How do you actually make money from it? So once you learn that skill, you can grow a page. You would have learned how to video edit. You would have learned how to script. You would have learned all these different skills that are involved in it. And you can now make agencies for them, for other businesses, even just content creators just by themselves. You know, because there's massive content creator. Well, actually, you don't even have to be a big content creator to have editors, to have script writers, to have people that are like are on your team. You know, because I put out, I've got more than one account. I put out just for my personal, like my own personal brand. I put out s- more than what I can edit a day, so I have to have people help me edit. Right. So that you guys could do the exact same for someone, not for me. Obviously, I've got my team, but someone else, right? So when you're like, just say, I'm going to use an example for a construction page, just on like how you'd set it up and how you'd come in. The first thing you need to do, you need to make sure if you're making content that if you're making like some sort of page for someone or you're making your own page for something, you need to be on everything. You need to be on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, 3 videos a day, right? That's bam. That's like, that is the KPIs for you guys. Need to be on everything. If you put time and effort into a fucking video and then you only post it on Instagram, you're just fucking shooting yourself in the foot. I've got videos that did so shit on Instagram, but on TikTok, they got fucking 3 million views. So it's like, what? Imagine if I only posted on Instagram, how many less people would have seen my face, or how many less people would have seen that product, or less people seen that. You need to be on everything, right? Because different bits of content perform on better on certain platforms. So like TikTok's obviously a lot more brain rotty, and then like Facebook's not quite long form, but still reels pretty much, and Instagram, YouTube's like a whole different ball game. So but you can still do shorts. So we're still making the same bit of content. It's not taking you any more effort to just go post it onto another app. So make sure you do that. You're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't. Post ideas. So just say we're running up a construction company. I think I talked about this before, but one mistake I see in like a normal business, or like they're trying to run up an account for like a normal business that's might not be a product, it might be a personal brand or for someone, or it might be like just the company and they're just trying to generate traffic or credibility or something like that, right? Is they're making it super fucking boring. They think that it has to be this like social media, everyone's on social media to fucking see what house they built, all right? No one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck really. The only reason people go on social media is for entertainment. That's it. They're not going on there to see the best pizza, the pizza you fucking cooked today, or like going to check out your page. So they're there for entertainment. So if you think about Red Bull, obviously, one of the one of the biggest fucking energy drink companies ever, right? What's on their Instagram? It's not like we've got the fucking new can and it's a new flavor or whatever. It's just fucking entertainment. It's just cunts jumping out of fucking planes, doing stunts, doing all this wild shit. They never talk about their fucking energy drink. They never talk about the flavor. They never talk about how much fucking caffeine's in it or whatever. It's just fucking stunts, entertainment. That's why they're so big. That's why their brand's so big. Everything else is the exact same. So remembering that and not making, doesn't matter what you're running up, not making it fucking boring pretty much. So with value, if I was running up like a construction company, like I mentioned before, you do like how-tos, you do tips and tricks. The reason you do this is because then if you're teaching someone something and you're giving them value, you position yourself as an expert because you're showing them that you know what you're talking about, or that you know like what's going on. So, because like for an example, I'm sure there's lots of make money online guys out there right now, but I bet you none of them can fucking run a fucking 1 hour session just yapping about marketing. Why? Because they don't know what they're fucking talking about. So when you have value there, it shows that you're some sort of expert in some sort of field, whether that's construction. So this is the best way to build a deck. This is the best way to fucking prepare a wall for plaster or whatever the fuck you need to do, right? Tips relating. So, like I mentioned before, the problems that your avatar has and how you can solve them. So, the pain points. The reason we do this is because if you don't have a pain point and an end result, there's no product. It doesn't make sense to sell anything. So, when you guys, this is another very important thing I wanted to bring up. Like, when you guys are getting any sort of product, any sort of service, whatever it is, you need to make sure that your product actually solves the problem. So, just say there's pain point here, there's some sort of problem. Here's the goal. Your product has to be the bridge for that. It has to be the bridge for that. If it doesn't get someone to the goal, it's a shit product, right? So if you don't have the pain point or the goal, there's no point having a bridge there. It'd just be the pain point by itself, or it just might just be the goal by itself. There's no fucking bridge. So what's the point of buying? You need both. You need either side for someone to actually build a bridge to walk across. Connection bottom. So this is more like talking about the actual team specific to the actual building company. If this is the building company, so I'd be like the people buy from people is what I'm like sort of put here. So one problem that faceless accounts sort of have, I know a lot of you guys want to do faceless accounts, which is like fine. But one problem a lot of faceless accounts have is obviously there's no face there, and people like to buy from people. They don't like to buy from some fucking faceless page. So you can still sell obviously low ticket products very easily, but you can't do high ticket, or you can't, you're not going to trust maybe a random Instagram for a house and you've never seen the owner or something like that, or you don't see the team. It's just the house reveals. Obviously, there's nice houses, but if you can see the owner there talking about why he started the company, and you can see the whole team, their personalities, what they get up to, them on the job site, them, being boys having fun, you're going to feel like you know them a lot more, you can trust them a lot more, and that you're actually going to buy from them. So people buy from people. So obviously videos like meet the team, like even like a fucking little mini vlog or something funny. I'm sure if you guys are tradies and you go on TikTok, you've probably seen heaps of like guys that have big, big TikToks and they're just posting like these little videos of like them on Smoko just talking shit and stuff like that. Those guys bring in a ridiculous amount of leads from like people wanting them to build their house because they trust them. They're like, these guys, they're funny. I know their personalities. I know what type of person they are. So all that sort of stuff. And then also testimonials. So testimonials would be like, you built a deck for someone, and then that person's then saying, these guys are really good. They fixed my pain point and got me to this goal. So testimonials, super good, super important. Long form, in terms of long form, for like if I was running up a construction company, um, I would be trying to do at least one a week, whether that's like a mini project, whether that's a testimonial. So like a mini project would be like showing how to put up a little wall or showing what you did, putting up a wall, how you do it. Um, maybe even like a house reveal or something like that. I'll be trying to do some sort of long form every week and growing on there as well. Because YouTube is a long game, a long-term game. Stuff lasts so much longer and it's a search engine. So every time I've got a problem, right? Oh, fuck, my lights are shit. I then post videos on how to fucking solve some sort of, electrical problem and then plugged into my business. And people search up how to fix something. They realize they can't fucking fix it because they're not an electrician. Then they watch my video though. They might fucking call me. I might get some leads from that. So this is what I'd be doing if I was running up a construction company. Um, and that's pretty much it. Like that's just an example for like how you can just simply make money off that one skill from your home. This is something you can do from your home, from Bali. This is like you can take 5, 6, 7 clients on, just give them the strategies. Just tell them fucking obviously practice shit. Don't just go reach out to people and say, "Oh, I was on Ethan's fucking 1 hour masterclass. I can run up any fucking Instagram to 1 million followers." Right? That's retarded. Do not say that. But you now know enough to then go try. Maybe run up your own product. Maybe try do it for someone for free until they get results. Then they start paying you, right? Because to get clients, what you're going to need is like that's to deliver the product and be good at the product and make money. All you need is the skill of marketing, right? But to get clients, we kind of need another skill, which is obviously sales, because that's the two parts to every single business. So obviously, how are you going to get clients? Sales. So sales I'm not going to go through sales today because it's a whole fucking 5 masterclasses worth of talking. So we're gonna miss this, but sales is probably like when I talk about high income skills and like learning something, you got marketing and you got sales. When you put them together, you can make so much you can make so much money with both of these by themselves, but if you can put them together, you're printing. Because right now, if you were the best at marketing, right? You were the best at fucking running up accounts, had all the results, everything, but you sucked at sales, which most people do, you still can't make any money though because you can't get clients. Yes, if you get a client, you can run up a massive bag, but it's hard to get a client because you don't have the skill there. So for me, when I first started, sales was the first thing I did. Sales was it. It was, and I'm not talking about like obviously Wolf of Wall Street, fucking my thing's the best thing since sliced bread. It's like proper sales. That it doesn't work anymore. Proper sales now, right? So this is pretty much like how you can make money off social media without showing your face. Obviously, you can do it fucking a million different ways, just pretty much monetizing, but you need to have obviously the skill of running up a fucking account and getting attention. And then sales is the next thing after that. But I'm gonna do, I did a little bit of sales on 2 masterclasses ago. I'm gonna do probably the next one. We'll probably do sales. Talk about sales, probably try to give you some sales game, but it's a hard thing to learn just without practice. So that's the only thing. So you need practice, but like I just pretty much went through then, it all comes down to the skills. So one thing a lot of you guys come to me with in the DMs is because obviously I post about like appointment setting, remote closing, um, the PLR method, fucking now I'm talking about obviously how you can make money just from social media in general, right? There are all these different business models open to you guys, available right now with a massive fucking opportunity, but you need to focus on the skills. Do not get caught up. If people always, the biggest reason people fail is because they get just caught up with the business model. They think like, you know, I'm sure everyone went and fucking tried drop shipping, but you didn't fucking learn marketing, did you? You just fucking tried to set up a store. The skills are what make these business models go well. And these two skills are what make you fucking invincible long term. Because we're not just talking, I can say I'm sure digital products are going to be around for a very long time, and I can confidently say that, but just say they didn't. Just say they didn't, right? It doesn't fucking matter to me because I have those two skills, and those two skills matter in every single fucking business. So I'm sweet. So I want you guys to focus on the skills. This is what you learn. We're not learning drop shipping. We're learning marketing. You're not learning fucking digital drop shipping. You're learning marketing. You're not learning any like fucking SMA. You're learning marketing or you're learning sales. You're not learning like all these different business models. These are the skills you need. This is what we actually want. So hopefully that makes sense. I get asked all the time, obviously, how did I learn these skills? I got a mentor, right? I'm now trying to teach everyone for free. So, but I didn't learn on YouTube. Obviously, you can learn on YouTube. There's plenty of people that do learn on YouTube. The problem I had because I tried to start with by myself, the problem I had when I first started was that obviously I had no guidance. I had no people like sort of there helping me. And you can get lost very easily, especially with the skills. And I just knew that like obviously there's going to be like two things that happened if I kept going by myself. It was like one, it was going to take me a fucking really long time, or two, I was going to give up. So I always suggest to people to get a mentor because that's actually how I've got to where I am now. So I would suggest you guys get a mentor for this because it fucking got me to where I still get mentored now. But you still can attack this by yourself. You can keep showing up on the master classes, and keep grinding it out. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I've got. Really, just put marketing game, sales content coming soon. So yeah. Um, yeah, pretty much if you guys get stuck with anything or you need extra help, you need questions, you need anything like that, just send me the word learn because that way I'll know that you're on this. Instead of like other words. Otherwise, I'll just think you're just some random fresh off the boat. Um, just send it to my Instagram. All the guys that are watching on YouTube as well that aren't here, that won't get to ask questions, because we're about to do some more questions, you can send them to me. Just send the word learn. So, that's pretty much all I've got for you guys today. Was my screen sharing that whole time? I think so. I hope so. Fuck, I hope my screen was sharing. But pretty much answer any questions that you guys have now about anything, about me, about my life, doesn't matter. Gracie. Oh, Gracie disappeared.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was just letting you know that your screen was sharing, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sweet as. I just want to say thank you for today, man. I've learned heaps and I'm keen to join your next masterclass. Just curious whenabouts it would be.
I normally run them. What day is it today? Thursday. I normally run them every Thursday. Sometimes I switch it up and put it like on a Wednesday or something like that. But are you in my like Ethan's Insight group? Because I normally
Yeah, I just joined it. Yep.
yeah. So I normally
Wonderful.
I'll put it in there. like a day or two before saying when. It's normally always at 6 p.m. Perth time, which is now. Oh, sorry, an hour ago.
Yeah.
But sometimes it change a day depending on when I'm busy. But yeah, no
Yeah,
worries.
sweet as. One more question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
When you said mentor, how would I find the right mentor for me in sales and marketing? Like,
It's
how would I search up on Instagram, on Google?
yeah, there's a bunch of different ones out there. You do have to be careful because there's a lot of fucking scams. There's a lot of people that
Oh yeah.
probably aren't creditable. Um, I went with a proper an academy, so I got more than one. Because one thing I always found, when you were tradie,
No, I'm not at the moment.
oh, okay. Well, one
Yeah.
thing when I was a tradie, I was like, I found it really good learning from more than one person because then this person does it slightly different, this person does it slightly different, and then you get to like a collection of all of it, and you become like a goat, right? So
Yeah,
I went with an academy, so I got more than one, which is ABC, which I talk about a fair bit in my content. So
that's
I
nice.
suggest them. I can't suggest any others because I've never tried them. So it's that
Have
simple.
you ever thought about getting maybe a course and TAFE for uni for it in
No,
sales and marketing?
never do that.
Okay, okay,
Never do that.
sweet.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you for that, man. Take care.
Too easy. Kim,
Hi, mate. Love your content. Just an interesting question. With the social media and selling digital products, did you find you had to register either as a small business or a sole trader, or is it considered more of a hobby?
um, I'm obviously registered as a sole trader because I'm making enough. Where like I'd probably get put in jail if I didn't collect declare it. But if in like obviously if you're first starting, like you get an ABN for it all and stuff as well. So yeah, you are a sole trader. It's like a business. It's the exact same as any business, except you're just online, obviously. But if you're only making like fucking $50 a week, I wouldn't bother. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but fuck the government. Does anyone have any other questions? No? If not, oh, Dan the man, he's back.
Hey, Ethan. I just wanted to ask you, did you move to Bali yet? Because last time we spoke, you were about to move soon. Like it was, I think, almost a month back.
To where?
To Bali? You were gonna
Bali.
move?
I'm in Dubai now at the moment, so because
Okay.
fuck paying tax. So yeah, that's where I am at the moment. That's why it's daylight.
So, so you're planning to move to Bali or not?
Maybe I'll go everywhere. Like, there's no point staying in one spot when you can work online. So that's what I always think.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought I would come ask you that because I remember last time you were saying you were planning to move to Bali,
Mm,
and I think a couple other folks on the class were also planning to. One more person was planning to move to Bali,
yeah.
and that like just stuck in my head. So I thought I'll ask you. At this point, I've attended like so many of your master classes that I feel like I'm just talking to a friend. But I remember the first time, first time when I got here and spoke to you, I was like nervous, like just, stammering.
Don't be nervous, mate. I'm just a retard that posts videos. That's about it. No worries, brother. Any more questions? Rob,
Hey mate, I just wanted to ask what do you feel like, I don't want to say failure, but like what do you feel like was something that you sort of did on like whether it was selling a product to a client or something and you could under delivered and they weren't happy with the result? Like what was the biggest learning experience you've had on your journey so far?
biggest learning experience.
From something that you haven't like say like under delivering on something, because I think that's sort of something that I've sort of found is sort of like lack of confidence in yourself or your own ability, and that's sort of something that I don't want to be able to under deliver, if that makes sense.
Yeah, nah, for sure. I think. I've never had a problem, I guess, under delivering on any product because I'm normally fairly like if I like I only do one thing at a time. So if I do one product or if I do one service or if I do something right, I only do like all the focus is on it. So you try it, you test it, you get results. Like if you can get results, I've never had problems with under delivering. Probably the biggest failure I've had is like scaling maybe a little bit too hard. So like getting like bringing more like selling too much and then like the product can't handle that and then like it sort of gets over a bit not as good of quality. Does that make sense? Because there's so many people that like if it just say it was like a community or something like that and I tried to scale it, there's too many people coming in and not everyone can get the value out of it that I wanted.
Yeah, like that's exactly sort of what I was trying to like into as you're saying, like adding that value because depending on what sort of field or niche that people are in and you're trying to cater for that particular client, it's sometimes a bit of a difficult crossover
Yeah.
when you do scale.
100%. And I've helped other people scale and then like they obviously don't care as much as I do about quality and actually people getting the results they bought the fucking thing for. Um and then like we scale them too hard and then they just forget about fulfillment and then it makes everyone look bad. So um scaling probably too hard is probably like my biggest like lesson or like not forgetting about fulfillment. Fulfillment's never like this finished thing, like I've got the product, it's done. It's always something where like, okay, we need to keep adding stuff, we need to keep making it better.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I've got to shoot off, but thank you everyone for coming and listening to me yap about some random shit for a bit. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you can go make money. If you want this recording, I put everything on my fucking YouTube, so you can go check out my YouTube. I've got a bunch of masterclasses there as well, all the old ones. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of your nights and days, and I'll see you probably next week. All right, have a good one.